Well, I don't know what the hell I did there. Oh shit! Everything, man, I'm fucking it all up.
It's one of them days.
Monday, right? It's a Monday. I was looking at some buttons here, and I'm pressing the wrong buttons. And so far, I just letting everybody know, I'm supposed to have a guest joining us today. Haven't seen her yet, but as soon as she comes, as soon as I see her, I'll have her jump on. Let me just put StreamYard, just in case she can't get to her email. I just put the StreamYard in the chat, so if she's in the chat, and then she could just jump on, and then we can start talking about some exorcism. And is Micheal Jackson really alive, or is he dead? So what I did, well, if you notice my thumbnail, I just took the idea of exorcism and Micheal Jackson and just added together.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And of course, I don't know, Bob, if you actually saw the thumbnail, did you see who else is in bed with Micheal Jackson?
No, I did not. I know it's not me.
Did not see that.
Well, I noticed myself as Mona Lisa. I've seen that on there.
Okay. Well, let me see if I can find that picture, because I would have thought you would have caught that. I am shocked here.
I'm not one to stare at your stuff. I'm just see it and I move on. I laugh at it for a second.
Okay. Well,
you always put codes and shit in your stuff. I know that.
Okay. Hold on.
Okay.
Now.
Oh yeah, Coughlin. Yeah, Coughlin. Macaulay Culkin. Yeah, he's in a band. He's in a band now. You know that, right? The Bananas. Oh wait, no, the Bananas. It's a knockoff band. Oh man, I forgot their name. Oh God. Lou Reed's in the band. Lou Reed's in it. The Velvet Underground. So he did a knockoff band from the Velvet Underground, and they literally dress up as like bunny rabbits, all kinds of banana, and they do the weirdest stuff, because what it is Macaulay Culkin, I think he got buggered by one of them executives, and I'm serious, man. I'm being dead serious. He got himself a little molested or some weird shit, because he went crazy and he started doing these weird subliminal message music band things where he was like dropping the hint, kind of like Corey Feldman. He was doing a Corey Feldman.
Good point. Okay.
Yeah.
Feldman and McCulkin both are kind of wacko. Okay. What do they both have in common? They were both young kids that used to spend time with Micheal Jackson.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
Hello, Jen. How's it going?
Hi.
I was just showing Bob my thumbnail where I had McCulkin in bed with Micheal Jackson, and Bob just brought up how McCulkin and Feldman are both kind of crazy actors now. And I said, Bob, both of them used to stay with Micheal Jackson as kids. So are they crazy because they're crazy? Or are they crazy because they spent time with Micheal Jackson?
Well,
Macaulay Culkin. Remember, and what's his name? Corey Feldman. They went the same route with this weird subliminal music thing. Like they had been molested by somebody in Hollywood or a group, or both of them had this weird. And so Macaulay Culkin was also coming on with pizza. Yeah, that's right. Something pizza. He was playing music with pizza in it, and then he was wearing the pizza outfits. And I'm like, what's up with the guy in the pizza? Then all of a sudden, you probably heard about it. It's the big wave of the Pizzagate come out. I'm like, oh shoot! I wonder if he was involved in something weird like that. That's weird. So I don't know.
Well, everybody, we got a special guest today. Her name is Jen Up. If you go from the beginning of the chat, I put her information here. Let's see, put it on Facebook. We're streaming on, of course, YouTube. We're streaming on Twitch. So that's her channel. So check her out. She made like some awesome videos, which I took her exorcism and is Micheal Jackson alive? I just kind of mix it together in the thumbnail.
I like what you did there. I do.
So I'm not saying that we actually did an exorcism on Micheal Jackson, but maybe there was one. I don't know. There could be one.
Yeah.
But before we go there, I got to ask you guys something. Now, I don't know if this is a weird, maybe weird off topic. I always like to do weird topics, Jen, just to get more people in before we go into the topics of the show. I decided to take a shower this morning. Yes, Bob, I took a shower.
You did? What day is it? What day is it?
And
it's not shower day.
I know.
Are you sure?
You know,
with water.
I'm finding out that taking a shower is becoming more difficult. And I'll tell you too why. I have a daughter, 13 years old, my wife's whatever. I take a shower now, right? And there's a part of the shower you gotta shampoo your hair. There's all these tubes. Right?
Okay.
And I'm reading these tubes. Face wash, body wash. I'm like, okay, where's the shampoo? And I'm reading every single thing. I'm like, where is the goddamn shampoo? I don't even know what shampoo is anymore. And I'm like, so I use this whatever soap. I don't know, body soap. I guess there's all soap, you know, and I used it, and then your hair feels funny. So I asked the wife, I go, where's the shampoo? It's that brown bottle in there. But the brown bottle doesn't say like shampoo anymore. It's like, whatever happened to shampoo bottles that just says shampoo on it? Am I going too crazy on this? I mean, I'm just.
I don't
use it's all mixed together now for men. It's all hair, face, and body wash now for men to make it easy for you. So there's no excuse.
Yeah,
it's like there's a body wash for every. There's like a body wash for every part of the body. Face wash, armpit wash. I don't know, back wash, and I'm like, can I just get a simple shampoo? You know, can we put a tag on there? Because every time I'm serious. Every time, like, say I go buy a shampoo and I put it there, it's missing and it's gone, and I find it downstairs. Bob, you know downstairs, like everybody steals my stuff, and I'm like, man, come on. So
no, I use an oil-based wash. I don't trust. I 2000. I don't know what happened in 2016. I all of a sudden. Everything I put on, it made me red. I'm like, what? I can't. I'm allergic to everything in the cupboard. I was like, I can't use deodorants. It gave me rash. I can't use soaps. It gave me rash. So I had to find some special oil-based, natural hippie stuff. And then I use like a drop of it. It's like intense oils. And this is way better. And it smells like a forest. So, and then with the beard, I used the regular stuff with the beard. It was drying up like, hey, what is this? So I got to use the special oil / whatever for beard and body. This is a weird discussion to have on a show, but yes, I have to do that.
Just a fast shout out. If Joey Roca did a pretty good video this morning. He did a stream with Silly Fan Man on his channel. And they talked about some cool topics that's around the world. So you guys should check that out. Go to Silly Fan Man's channel. Joey Roca was the guest on there, and they talk about some cool real life stuff. So, but Gypsy Road balls need an exorcism. They are possessed by ancient Greek stone builders.
Hey, Eric, kick me. I'm going to kick myself out so she can be up on top, and she looks good, and I can be at the bottom, so you only see half of my face.
Well, let's see.
There you go. There you go.
Is that better?
Get me off the top. That sounds bad too.
But
I'm a bottom. No,
I gotta show you to this. I'm actually adding a new element to the channel in a way. It's gonna be about what's weird in the world today. Okay. I'm calling it the Gypsy Road newspaper. Watch.
That's weird.
So,
weird.
You guys know,
yes.
Jen, I don't know your age, but you know, we grew up in the 80s where video games
taboo.
The story is something about in the 80s. Okay. Did you know, Bob, after the Dungeons and Dragons, there was another role-playing game that was created that
Cthulhu.
No. This is a real role-playing game that somehow it was a game, people bought it, then it got stolen. It's a weird story about a game creator who went to San Francisco, and the guy's gay. Nothing wrong with that at all. And he got tired. There's nothing wrong with it at all. He got tired of the church people like making fun of the gay community, which they shouldn't, but they did. Okay. Did you know there was a role-playing game called Gay Blade in the 80s?
No, I'd never heard of that.
I've never heard of that.
You guys never heard of that? Okay, this is. I'm trying to find the craziest story. It's actually, if you go to, if anybody has Netflix, there's actually a limited series called High Score Games or something.
I forgot what it's called.
And one of the third and fourth episode is about this story about the Gay Blade game. So it's kind of cool. So
I'm surprised our brother didn't know. We had Jen, as you know, we have a dead gay brother. We had a dead gay brother. He would have known about this game, right? Wouldn't he have played this game? I don't know. I don't want to know the rules though.
It's called Gay Blade. It's the Lost role-playing game explained.
Okay.
There's a game that there was actually the game is at the end is to defeat the preachers. So it's like
what the fuck?
No, I'm not serious. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. There's a former GOP president candidate and advisor to President Nixon, where you have what was this fucking guy's name? I just wrote it down. I forgot his freaking name.
What is it? Evangelist?
No, you got to defeat this. You got to defeat this crazy senator. Oh, hold on. I actually got pictures.
They call him vicars over here. Jen, is it a vicar where you're at?
Oh,
vicar. Yeah, vicar, reverend.
Reverend.
Yeah.
Oh, not that one.
Priest,
yes. They kept saying vicar, and I didn't have any. I've never heard of the word ever used. And I literally said, "This is a vicar's house." I said, "Okay, that's cool, but what is a vicar?" I have no idea what you guys are talking about. A vicar. I go, I get it, but what is it? They said it's a priest. Oh, I didn't. Such a weird word.
I'm not that religious, so I don't know if a priest and a vicar are exactly the same thing, but I think they're the same thing. But
yes.
I don't really go to church that often, so don't quote me on that.
Same.
Well, it says what it says is Gay Blade takes players into a dungeon on a quest to rescue Empress Nelda from disgusting right-wing creatures, including creatures with bags of money, racist, and homophobic cops, as well as scrabs and some CTI. The game ultimate boss. Oh, here it is. The game's ultimate boss is a proof of Pat Buchanan or Buchanan, whatever.
Okay.
He's a former candidate and advisor to Richard Nixon, where he actually ran for president, but he lost. But he was of course against gays having rights and all that. But the game. Look at the game. The see Bob, see the game guy, see the person in purple. It's like almost like Street Fighter fighting a priest.
Okay. So is it like a slap fight, or how does that go down? I mean, is it a cat fight? No, Mike, our gay older brother, was tough. He studied martial arts, so I know they can fight. Are they fighting with? Okay, they're shooting the rainbow. They're shooting rainbow powers. Okay. The art of the.
I mean, it's. But the strange story. Look, there's the girl like shrinking.
Okay.
I know, right? No, dude, I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh. And if you watch the Netflix thing, it'll show like parts of the game because you can't find it on YouTube. But if you find parts of the game, they're wearing like skeeking clothes. It's like, and you go right like around a corner to fight some levels, and there's like a preacher there with a Bible, like trying to stop you.
Okay.
So it's the most craziest shit that I've seen.
I'm sure it helps.
The story goes is this guy went to move from Hawaii, and I guess he had like a box of all his demos of the game, his codes, everything. And when he moved, the box was supposed to be sent out, but it was never sent out. The games got stolen.
Oh.
So he was on the search to find his game so he could get it reproduced out to the public.
Okay.
I'm telling
sure demand. I bet there's a demand for it right now. I don't know. Maybe Hollywood wants this.
I'd buy it.
You would? Okay, we got one buyer right here. Okay, I mean, almost. I mean, I'm not a phobe. So if I like Dungeons and Dragons, and for the fun of it, if Jen and a bunch of people said, "Hey, you want to come play this game? It's a role playing game," I'd be like, I'm not going to say that I'm curious because it comes off weird like that, but I will roll the dice and see what happens. I'll use rainbow powers. I don't know how it's play out. It's weird. Okay.
I know.
I think we need to set up another video of playing this game.
What? You know what?
That'd be fun.
That, definitely.
Yeah, man. Okay. How do you roll for characters with something like this? You've got the art of soft hand, and you have the art of butch. How does this work? What kind of elements and what kind of characters can you become? Are you like a transsexual powers?
I know. It was just weird because Oliver, who's my son, was like, my son's like, well, what does this game have to do with the game community getting big? It's like, I don't know. It's a side story. I guess they throw in. I thought it was interesting.
It is. I've never heard of it. It's kind of interesting. I think it's a worthy topic. I guess we're going to be playing this game online one day. It's going to be fun.
He put it out there in social networking world to help him find, because there were some copies sold, and one guy said he did own a copy, so apparently he's going to send him the copy, and they're going to put this game out. And I agree with Jen. We should have like a day where we play this game live.
Do we dress up? I mean, how do I wear a drag? Jen, you gotta be a dude.
With it now. That was just.
I'll put.
I'm excited now. I definitely want to do this.
Okay. I've wore makeup before on the shows for fun. Okay.
It's like the new horror picture show, the rock and roll, whatever it's called.
Horror picture show of games. Wouldn't that be a role playing game? Oh, gosh.
At midnight, dress up. We're going to play a live game of Gay Blade.
That would be funny. I would think that would probably lock in the whole sidebar be packed. Some of them will be disgusted. Some of them just be laughing. As they say over here in Europe and England and Scotland, we just take in the piss out of everything. So we'll just be having fun and nobody will be insulted. So we'll just, you can have a gay guy come on and be a player. A gay lady, come on and be a player. We don't care. Everybody's welcome. We could do a big gamer thingy. That'd be kind of cool live.
I'm sure I can find a gay person to come on if they were looking for one.
Done deal then. So Jen's got the gays. She'll get the gays in there.
Now.
I just don't know how long it's going to take for them to get the game back out. And I'm telling you, I bet you it'll be a big seller.
Yeah.
Kind of like playing that old 16-bit game. You're just...
Okay, definitely. No, this is role playing, or is this a video game?
No, it was designed as a role playing game.
Okay.
He took the idea of Dungeons and Dragons, and he took the idea of preachers and Pat Buchanan, who's trying to stop the gay community, during the AIDS part where nobody was helping. So he made a game out of it where you got to fight. You're fighting preachers. You're fighting people with the Bible. You're fighting. Then your leader of them all is that Pat Buchanan, was a top senator who was an advisor to Richard Nixon. So he's the evil guy.
The evil empire guy. Okay. So is there a dungeon master? Because I'm just going to say right now, the word dungeon master and gay community don't go well together. You know what I mean? They don't do dungeon. I don't know. It would be what a tranny would be the dungeon master, or the person.
You know what? I never played the game, but it's got a cool name, right? Gay Blade.
Yes, we'll have Jen research. She's a researcher.
Yeah,
it's the world's first gay and lesbian computer game.
Okay, We'll let her do the research because I can't do it. I'd laugh too much. I wouldn't be insulted, but I'd just be laughing too much. I couldn't take it seriously.
Well, that was for today's newspaper article.
That was today's article. All right.
Well, I want to show everybody's Jen's YouTube page.
You got some cool subjects. You got a computer voice. This is what you sound like. Yeah. I'm used to the computer voice. It's really cool though.
I need to appear more in my videos. I know because I'm a little bit camera shy, so I don't often put my own voice and my own face in it. But I think I just need to start appearing more in my videos, and so I'm going to start doing that. This has given me the push that I need to start.
Sure, yeah, you got an awesome voice, and like I say, the true tricking videos is, of course, did Micheal Jackson fake his own death? Real life exorcism that will creep you out. Now, real life exorcism
saw that
is real. I mean, I found an article. I was looking for an article of an exorcism just in 2020, right? And I found one that's actually in Panama. Here.
Oh, yeah.
Panama. BB News. Panama. 7 people found dead after suspected exorcism.
No shit. 7 people.
Huh? Yes. Wow. The bodies of 7 people have been found in a mass grave in an area of Panama where members of a religious sect were believed to be performing exorcism, officially says. Part of this was the victim, and this is all ages, man. Look, the victims included a pregnant woman, 32, and 5 of her children, age 1 to 11. The 6th was a neighbor, 17. 15 others were found. So what I'm saying is, I'm not trying to make a joke of this. What I'm trying to say is, their exorcisms are being done. I can't say if these people were really possessed or not, but just right there, even in Panama, they found over 7 people dead, a pregnant woman and all her children. I mean, it's pretty sad.
Now, how does that happen? No, I mean,
it can be. There was an 8-year-old boy who was an autistic lad, and he was asphyxiated to death because the priest was sitting on his chest during the exorcism. So whether he was possessed or not, I don't know, but just from the priest sitting on him, and it said in the papers that he was autistic, so whether it was an actual possession or it was just his illness. Wow. They can be really dangerous and really risky things to perform. So, it's scary stuff.
Yeah. I saw your video. I saw her video with that girl. Ooh.
In 2018, about 250 priests from 50 countries attended the Vatican annual exorcism course. Apparently, there's an annual exorcism course.
Ooh.
And increasing demand for exorcism among some of the world's Catholic communities. So it's increasing. So in 2018, 250 priests has an annual exorcism course. Dude, how do you get invited to that course, man? I want to go.
I don't know. I want to check it out.
I would love to check this out.
I'm writing it down. I'm gonna ask them if I can attend it.
Yeah, it's an annual course.
I can do it. I figured it. I know all the shit. I think I gotta. You guys keep talking. I'm gonna go grab a cross. I think I got one. I think I got a crucifix somewhere.
So Jen, in your video of the real life exorcism, are you into like studying on why people do exorcism? What's your
I'm really interested in the whole it's just such a divided subject, and there's so many different opinions on it. I'm really interested on different people's takes on it. I'm not necessarily a religious person myself.
I'm not either.
But I am really interested in people's stories and real life events, and I just want to know what is really going on with these cases, whether it's a mental illness or whether it's genuinely possession. Then I'm happy with either way. I just really want to know the truth, and I'm really curious to know the truth. So I like to dig out these things and try and find things that I can explain, and try and find things I can't explain as well. So
yeah.
I don't think people realize how huge an exorcism really is, because you hear about the movies, but you just saw what I read. 250 priests a year go to an annual exorcism class. So there's a class. So if you think about it, if you have 250 average a year, and it's probably 250 different priests every year. So there's probably, I don't know, thousands of priests that has actually been to an exorcism course.
I
do
mean,
they have to pay for this course though?
Right.
Is it like a money-making thing where they have to pay to go on this course and they're making a lot of money out of it? Or what are they actually learning on this course?
Yeah, and if they're priests, then they're on the payroll.
That means that means the people going to church are paying for it, because the money that comes from the church are the people who go. And I'm sure all that money goes up. So it's like taxpayers pay for a program that our government does. So I guess the regular people of the world pays for priests to go to exorcism. And I'm not saying exorcism is real or not. Like you said, Jen, I'm not a religious person myself. I'm not saying there's not a God or Jesus. I just don't practice the Bible. I don't look at it. But it's amazing how people are so into it. How do you know what's fake and what's not? How do you know, like you said, about the boy who might not just be all there and they're thinking he's possessed by the devil, and then you bring some church guy over and you don't know they're doing it on purpose to sell people, look, exorcism are real. You need God. You need Jesus. Come to our church to be saved.
Yeah.
You don't know, I mean,
but if I it's like if you come in like I'm a defecationist, so I would have like some weird defecationist tools with me, or like if I come in as like I represent like the flying spaghetti monster, how would I perform an exorcism? That would be kind of weird. I would have to bring like spaghetti, a bowl of spaghetti, and I'd place noodles onto the person with meatballs and see if that would work. The power of Christ compels you. Like in the movies. I got the crucifix, Eric. I got the crucifix. I just need to have this blessed. I get this blessed. I have this. I can do an exorcism, dude. Well, hold on.
You, Bob, since you're in the UK, can't you just go to one of those old church and dip your cross in one of those holy water things?
Yeah, I'm sure I could. I could probably scoop it out. The blessed water. I get this guy have a priest. Can you bless this dude? I'm gonna go do an exorcism. See what they say. You can't do that. Why not? But over here, I can just pretend to be a priest. I guess apparently over here in England and other places, a lot of them have beards. I guess I was told, so I can fit right in. I can. Yeah, I'll just wear my Harry Potter robes. They won't know.
I think
American exorcism priests are fielding more requests than ever for help with demonic possession. And a centuries-old practice is finding a new footing in the modern world. Now that is interesting. So why now? I guess that's the question, right? Why is it more popular now than ever? Is it because we have fun movies like The Conjuring bringing stuff out, and people just think now that if you're messed up, you must be possessed? Is it just people not taking like life themselves, or is it mental illness? Maybe more people need to be on medication. I don't know.
That surprises me that you're saying that it's more popular now, because I didn't think that was true. I thought it would have been more popular in hundreds of years ago, before people really recognized mental illness as a thing. So it's a surprising fact to me now that it's more popular now than it's ever been, because you would think that science would have taken over and people would be putting it down to more mental issues and things like that, or people are more skeptical now than they have been in the past, and less religious now than they have been. So it's quite surprising.
Well, look at this. The official exorcist for for Indianapolis has received 1,700 requests so far in 2018. That's just in Indianapolis.
Wow. I do sense the spiritual. I mean, I've been kind of attacked over here in England. I've been tapped on the shoulder, and I confirmed it with somebody else. Now, again, it's a lot of psychological things I can rule it off to. So let's put that out first. But there's some things I can't explain. I can't explain some of the things. So it's like I've never experienced this before, and I'm a debunker. I've been a debunker my whole life. I took the courses in the university. I took Carl Sagan's personal, well, not him as the professor, but he had a book on debunking. It's from like Project Blue Book, and I took the course, so I'm a professional debunker, a parapsychologist. I went to school. Eric got kicked off. So I debunked, but I have met people in England that I trust 100% that are just like me that debunk, and they're like, "Hey, man, there's some weird shit." They used to go do the cemetery stuff, and there's some weird stuff. They're getting responses on their I could debunk it too. They could debunk it themselves, but they're looking at me going, "Dude, it's just weird." I go, "Yeah, I'm experiencing a little bit myself, more in certain parts of England than any other place. Like bad here. I've never experienced anything like that here."
Well, I think a lot of our pubs they have a reputation for being haunted because a lot of our pubs are converted from old like prisons or old naughty schools and things like that. There's a lot of buildings that have a lot of history that are now turned into pubs. So there's a lot of stories behind them. There's a lot of experiences that happen in them. But again, I always look for the logical explanation before I say, "Oh yeah, that's weird." I try and explain it before I start to believe that something's going on there. So you're right, yeah.
Takes always a lot.
The logical explanation first, and then when you can't explain it, go on to what else it could be.
That's what I do. Put out what it can be in a big table list, and then I said, then there's the 1% chance that I don't know.
Well, check this out. Hold on.
Okay.
Free online exorcism. Breaking the point. Free online exorcism.
Here we go.
Hold on. Self-deliverance. Action steps you can take. Get delivered here. Please follow each steep video in order. Look, there's 4 videos. Video 1 is step 1, honor. Watch the video testimony to learn what honor can yield and why it's a requirement of God to receive your miracle. Step 2, be advised. This is a general deliverance prayer and can radically deliver you if you honor what God is doing through me. Your determination to be free will produce results according to your level of pursuit. And then there's a step 3. I'm not reading these steps no more, but apparently you can do you can deliver exorcism yourself, and all you got to do is watch these videos. I bet you if you click on a video, they probably charge you.
I can do it for some money. I'll just go do it for a living. I'll just exercise people. I'll exercise you.
So, well, if anybody wants to learn how to do their own exorcism, here, I'll just put this in the chat, and people can do these videos themselves.
Yeah. I mean, well, I had a friend at the Museum of Flight. I had a friend now. He's Muslim. So the Muslims also believe in possession. But I have a tendency to lean more towards Islamic ideas than Christian. I just kind of trust them more because I ran around with a lot more. I'm a pagan. But when they talked about, a friend was serious when he told me about his sister. He said do not go down to, okay, this is what he says. You don't hang out in the trash areas. And I go, okay, explain this to me. Where they put the dump, the garbage. You don't hang around there. And his sister was down there too long, throwing away garbage, whatever. And she had gotten taken over. They call them jinns. And so she was possessed by a jinn. Now he's being sincere. And he says she had come back and she was acting completely out of character. And actually they had the cleric come over and said, okay, well, where was she at? Doing the research. She was down at the dump yard where they have where the jinn hang out. The jinn love that dump area. And they've determined that she was down there too long for whatever reason. Now, I think maybe there could have been methane gas There's a lot of things that come out of the garbage. There's a lot of bad things in garbage, powders or anything they could have got on her. Okay, we'll put that on the table first. But whatever it was convinced his whole family that she needed an exorcism. I said, so there's actual exorcisms in Islam? He goes, yeah. So the cleric come over and she was reading, they were reading out of their book and they were going over and blah, blah, blah. And they had a whole complete exorcism for his sister. I guess it worked. Obviously it worked. And so after that, she don't remember anything. She don't remember being down at the trash area. I don't know what they did. He didn't explain it to me because everyone has to leave the room. They just have clerics in there, like cleric assistants. And somehow they got her spirit gone. But again, theirs is the jinn. They believe the jinn for everything. So it's easier. We have like a plethora of spirits. You know, people of other faiths have a whole line of different things and categories. And they just have the jinn. It's just that easy. The jinn. You're possessed by a jinn. There's some sort of leftover spiritual thing from the whatever drool that we have left in the whatever world that was created in. Shit.
Somebody's
yeah. I have noticed when I've been doing my research that it's always very religious people who tend to get possessed. And I was wondering why that is. Does that make them more susceptible, or does it make them more does it change the way they think and make them, you know, that's anything that goes wrong, oh, I'm possessed, and that's the first thing they go to and that's the first thing they blame. Could that have something to do with it? I don't know.
I'm with you. It's always the religious people. But here's the flip of that coin, though. And this is what I've found out is that I said the same thing in class. We're like, so why is it always religious people? And the way the professor explained it to me is because people that are not religious are usually surrounded by other people that are not religious. So they don't go get priests for an exorcism. So you wouldn't know about them. Like, oh, so they're not on record anywhere because there's no priest involved. There's no nothing. They're just going crazy. And then they lock them up in the mental institution with lots of medications. So there's no helping. There's, it's just pure psychological. They lock them up. There's no.
Like I said, I'm not a religious person, so I don't want to speak where I don't know what I'm talking about. But if you're in a religious world, aren't you believing in the light for protection from Jesus or God? So if you believe in the Bible that is protection, so you can love life, live better. That's a good question. Then why are they getting possessed? It's like, and I always hear this that, well, they're being tested. Really? That's kind of a mean way to test somebody, right? Through torture
and shit.
Well, that was the theory behind the exorcism of Emily Rose, I think it was. And
Emily Rose.
I think her real name was Emma Schmidt or something like that.
It was in St. Louis.
German, and that was the whole theory behind that. She was being used as an example to show people that demons were still around and to teach the world a lesson. And she was going to be like this matriarch, and it's. I don't really want to sign up for it if that's the case,
Yeah. Well, I've seen your video on some of them that there's a gal you had on, and she looked bad. So she looked skeletonized, and her black eyes, and I'm like, oh my God, this is some.
Have you seen The Exorcism of Emily Rose?
Yes, I have.
Long time ago, yeah.
That's one where she's on trial.
In my video, it was who it was based on. That was the true story of that film. So that was
and that's the one with the preacher on trial, correct?
Yes.
That's
what I found quite interesting, because why would they think that if they were going to be on trial for negligence and the girl died? That's the one I thought was quite interesting, because they wouldn't really lie about it and risk going to jail for
because they should have technically had her in a hospital on an IV and under some kind of If
you follow that case, what they did was they actually had the priest guilty, but he already served his time. So he was guilty, served his time, so he technically got off. But it's like saving the church, because the church wanted to get under this. So it's basically like, okay, you're you're guilty, but technically he didn't go to jail for. Technically, it's murder in a way, but he's guilty without going to jail. That's how.
And the parents were found guilty as well, but the judge said that they'd suffered enough, so they didn't serve any jail time either.
Yeah.
So,
hey, wow! You see how that works out?
very, very odd.
I would think I'm not a, I'm not a lawyer or anything, but technically, it's your family. I guess you would have the right to say they should get medicine or not, right? So I can't really see how technically you could put charges on somebody, because if the family chooses a preacher over a doctor, I guess technically that's their choice, right? I mean, I don't know what all the rules are about that.
Well, apparently the girl as well stopped taking the medication herself and actually requested just carry on with the exorcism.
She has seizures. Yes, she has seizures or something.
Yeah, but died of dehydration and a heart attack. Yeah. Now, Eric, I'm not saying anything weird, but our older brother, when I went to visit him in 2016, we had an older brother that had some issues. I mean, he was a normal guy, and then all of a sudden he became a transsexual. Then he couldn't take it anymore because he got cancer, and then he just had a really rough life after that. But when I saw him in 16, Eric, and when he had them 2-ass tattoos of onks on his arm, and his room had all this crucifixes and all these things that he was doing. He made a homemade Ouija board, and he was doing homemade Ouija board in his room at Eric's house that I stayed in, which is a weird story I had in there. He also hit the dog that he had that I had personally raised for a few years. Eric had taken because my dad died. It was my dad's dog. Mike took him, but Eric took him for a little bit. I took him for a little bit, and my older brother took him for a little bit. And he slept in the room with our older brother, dead gay older brother. And when I saw that dog, I remember in 2016, he had all them growths all over him. Now, he wasn't that old, but he was covered in tumors.
Yeah.
Oh, God, what are you doing to this dog? He was covered in tumors. And I was asking my older brother, are you doing witchcraft, dude? Just gotta tell me, man, are you doing magic in this room? And my older brother wouldn't talk to me. Now, he's an older brother. We'd always had a discussion. He didn't walk away, but this time around, he just look away. And he just walk away and use a woman's voice. We always had a thing where he could use a man's voice with me, but he didn't. He didn't honor anything like that. He just used a woman's voice. He looked old. His teeth were bright yellow. I'm like, what happened to you, man? And what are you doing in this room? And Eric, he passed away. And then Eric said, dude, he had a homemade Ouija board. Like, what? And what was he doing? He was doing homemade Ouija. He was doing the Ouija board by himself with a dog in the room. And he acted crazy. Eric, I don't know if he was possessed, but it wasn't the same brother. I don't know. It was weird.
Our good friend, Paranormal Vel, she was in the chat, didn't even know about the sister or brother, and said, who's that person behind you dressed as a woman? It was just kind of weird, like, wow, damn, wow, holy cow. But look at this. How exorcism works. Look at this. First of all, look at this picture of this guy. Now that's a preacher right there. I mean, look at that. Look at that guy with his mouth across. How exorcism works. Now, if I scroll down, it's like, what is an exorcism? I guess there's a baptismal exorcism. Blessings are meant prior to baptism to cleanse evil. And then there's a simple exorcism. And then there's a real exorcism.
Real one? What's wrong with the other ones? Well, they're not real?
Exorcism classic, the investigation process, which, Bob, you always said that you should investigate any case that you do.
Always. They could have schizophrenia. There's people who been diagnosed with their parents or their grandfather or somebody in the family had schizophrenia and they have it. But then again, they always say, well, it's the same spirit that's possessing the whole family down the line. I get it. But still, there's a medical problem, and you got to go through the medical records first.
Right here, it says person's symptoms can be fully explained by mental illness, one of them. Yeah. There's another one, physical disorder or illness. And then, of course, another possibility the investigator must consider is plain old fraud. So, yeah, not every exorcism you hear is real at all.
Yeah.
I remember there was one that I found out about. There was an Englishman who had an exorcism after his wife accused him of having an affair. And he got really angry and beat his wife up. And then afterwards he said he was possessed. I think something Taylor, Micheal Taylor or something like that. And this was a case where, you know, he had to get the priests round and they had to exorcise these demons out of him for making him have an affair. So, yeah.
He was probably part of the lodge. He's probably part of the lodge.
Rumor back in before men, women, whatever, blah, 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 back in the day where if a man cheated on a woman, it was because she was a witch. And they used to hang them and burn them alive saying,
the woman.
With witch magic. So that don't surprise me.
That sounds fair.
You know, there was like
the women get all the blame. The man did nothing.
Redheads. There was a lot of redheads getting. Well, they were RH negative. Number one, the church knew they were because this is what I found out, that they went in wanted to get married, and then the church does the blood test, and the Catholic Church says you can't get married because she's a different blood type. It's not compatible with yours, so they can't get married. So usually, once a girl has been deemed by the church as not marriable because her blood type is negative, they become these spinsters. You know, and I'm not joking. This is what we learned in class. I go, what? So you have a lovely redheaded woman who has a RH negative blood. The church says they can't get married to these guys because she'll miscarry. That's what they know. So she becomes a spinster, but then she has needs too, but then guys would sneak off with her. They would go see her on the side, on the down low, which is sad that she would have to live that way because the church says you can't get married. I'm not joking. This was in the study. Like, what? Crazy. So she can't get married because of her blood type. So she's taking it on the down low with the dudes. But then when they find out, obviously she's a witch. She's burned. And a lot of percentages of RH negatives are redheads. So there's this thing about redheads being burned all the time on the stake as witches. I'm like, what? So we're trying to figure out why. Yeah. Why that hair? Why these particular females with the same characteristics? And then we found out later on it was their blood types. And the church had deemed them not marriable.
That's crazy.
It's amazing that we still have redheads today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at the report. In 2005, 42% of people in the United States believe in the possibility of diabolical possession. That's almost half of the nation that believes in this, according to a poll back in 2005. Now, I don't remember taking this test. They never asked me, but apparently 42% of Americans.
It's a good placebo. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I could see it as a placebo. I don't see it as, here's your choice. You've got a series of pills to take, or you can have a priest come in and do an exorcism that might make them feel better. And there's no drugs involved. As a placebo, as I know, and Jim will probably say it's a placebo, there's nothing going on. It might help people. I'm down with it.
Very good points. I think it's very likely that these exorcisms, like you say, because it is very strange how it's all these very religious people who tend to suffer with these things, and the priest comes in and he waves his magic wand and he says his magic words, and then they feel better all of a sudden. And it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, Bob, what do you think of this title, Bob? Psychology versus religion. When you hear that, what do you think of?
Well, I'm more on the psychology side. With the exception of noticing unexplained things, but it's very rare to see that. Psychology, number one. In fact, I'm not really 100% behind psychology, too. I've taken all the classes. I have a lot of disagreement with what they consider mentally ill and what's not ill, and in fact, I think there's a lot of problems with psychology to start with, even go into that direct. That's a whole different show. But to just blame it on the devil, it's just too quick of an answer. There's the complexity of the human bodies, the brain, the volume of chemicals we have in our brain, our neurotransmitters. It's just off the charts, man. You could be lacking one chemical in your brain and you're schizophrenic, just one low chemical. Or you could be lacking this chemical in your brain. So they take these supplements to kind of balance it out to make a person normal. And sometimes that's all it takes. Now, I'm not a big pill advisor, but For some people that with this effect that they're not getting a drug, they're getting a balance of what their body produces and lack thereof. So it evens it out. So I'm into that. More psychiatry, because psychiatry is more medical. Psychology,
I
go ahead.
Personal experience with that one, because I have an imbalance in my hormones where I take a sertraline tablet every day, which completely balances out the hormones. Without taking that one tablet every day, I'm really low and I'm very things get on top of me very easily. So I know how that missing that one hormone, that slight imbalance, how much that can actually affect your mental state and how it can change your personality completely.
Oh, yes.
And it's crazy, this one little tablet that I take every day, and it just balances you out and it just completely makes you normal again. So
that's
although
true.
I'm on the fence, I completely don't know whether, I'm completely divided on, like, I'm willing to believe anything. I'm just saying, show me some proof either way. Give me the evidence. And up until now, I haven't seen any hard evidence either way. So I'm still searching for the answers. So up until then,
we're all searching. I want to be invited to an exorcism. I mean, I want to not just be there, because I actually want to see, the proof. I want to see her talking or him talking to other languages, or have their head even spin in a circle or something. The bed floating. I want to see something. Like you said, you want to believe it. You hear that it's real, but why haven't I never got to see one? How come I don't know anybody that has been through it?
Yeah, her head's completely spun around. That's freaking nice. Now she's swearing in a different language. Oh, this is crazy. Does she know German? Shit. What is she saying? Is some Bangladesh language? Well, I would love to observe it. What do you got now? She's going 7 feet above her covers. There's no damn cables. There must be ghosts in here. That'd be cool. I'd
love to see it firsthand. I'd love to see a ghost firsthand or experience anything like that firsthand, because, there's so much out there. There's so much information out there that you've got to believe that there's something to it, and you want to believe there's something to it, but I've never seen it for myself. Until I actually see the hard evidence with my own eyes, I'm on the fence.
Yeah, it's the way that you have to be to keep sane. You got to do. I've experienced a lot of, and I'm going to be honest, it's some paranormal stuff that I cannot explain, and it'll make you a little bit. You want to tilt more to that direction, but you got to, even though you might saw a little bit of evidence, you got to always come back from it a little bit, so you don't go crazy, and apply some science to it to keep it balanced. Because if not, you'll just believe anything. There's a black cat. He just crossed the path. Shit. I ain't going that way. It's a black cat. Don't walk over. No, man. No, the cat's not going to do it. It's a cat. Don't follow for that. Don't, because then you start believing it. Once you start believing it, then you're creating your own reality. Well, yeah, you're creating a badass reality. Believing stuff.
Well, I think logically speaking, that the way I think of it is that if a mechanic can fix a car that's been dead for weeks, if nothing leaves our body when we die, why can't a doctor or surgeon fix us and bring us back to life after we've been dead for a couple of minutes? So I think there definitely must be something that leaves the body, but where does it go? Does it stick around? Does it have the potential to create havoc on this plane, or does it just go somewhere else? I definitely think that there's something to it, because why can't a doctor bring you back to life if you've been dead for 5 minutes? If we are just lights and clockwork and we're just a machine and nothing actually leaves our body when we die, then they should be able to fix us, put more blood in us, put us back together, and bring us back to life.
I know. Yeah. That's why we need this guy on right here, Charlie, 4BZ Truth. He does that topic about near-death experience, like leaving the body, coming back. Charlie would have been pretty good on this topic.
Yeah, I try not to go too far in that area because here's the here's the cool part. We will all have that answer. We will all have that answer too. You know, sometimes later. I prefer much later. There's an answer that I will get. I'm not worried about getting that answer. We're all gonna get it, you know, later on in our life. So let's not go searching for it at the moment.
This person says, Rethink says, who's been watching us for a long time, I've been touched by the unseen, had my headphones pulled on and had the blanket pulled off of me and seen orbs all in one house besides being touched. Oh, hopefully you're not being touched in certain places. I was in the hospital. Hopefully they weren't touching you in certain places, because if you were being touched in a certain place, it might be aliens doing an anal probe.
Yeah. The reason why I could believe him is because of having something tap my right shoulder, and it was a weird, like almost like a fingernail tap. It was tap, 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 like on my back. I'm like, what the hell? Now I didn't tell nobody. I'm not going to go ask it everybody. But then somebody else in the same spot where I was at turned around and walked up and said, "Did you tap me on the shoulder?" I said, and I didn't tell nobody about this other person. I said, I didn't tell, there's nobody who knows. Nobody. I said, where were you standing when you got that? So I went back to the spot. And I said, this is where I got tapped. Now stop right here. I said, don't move. Stay in that spot. I'm debunking first. I went up and looked for the windows. I looked for drafts. I looked for objects. I looked for everything. I said, don't move. Just stay there. And I stood and I stared and I'm trying to debunk it. This is what I'm doing first. I'm not calling it out yet. Walk around in circles, look at the ground, looking for puffs of air that could come up from a system, any air, any flows, like light a cigarette and hold up to see where the smoke goes around the. I'm literally doing this stupid shit, walking around with smoke around the person. I said, I can't figure it out. I said, can you describe to me?
The fact that you've eliminated all the other options makes me believe you more, because you're obviously not just trying to go straight to the paranormal. You're not going straight to it was definitely a ghost. You're trying to eliminate everything first, which I find really interesting. And I think, right, I believe him. And I think that is definitely something that is weird, because you're obviously not the kind of person
I
who
want
just
to believe him too. I want to believe it too, but first, Bob, let me ask you this question, Bob. Were you smoking any green that day?
Yes, that's the actually.
Did you smoke any the day before where it might be in your system?
No, I actually only smoke it on the weekends now. I stick to the, and at the time it was only on the weekends, and this was a weekday. Also, what I do is I take my and I write down a description of exactly what happened and how it felt, and like a fingernail, and I have it on a piece of paper. So can you write down on a piece of paper what your description is? So without talking to me, person writes it down exactly how they remember it, and then we exchange papers without having a conversation. So then I read the paper, and I said, and then they read my paper, and I said, oh shit, it's exactly like mine. Okay, now we're kind of moving into the weird direction. Can't explain it.
I see Micheal giving you a little smirk right there on the thumbnail. He's looking at you like, okay. So Bob, you said Rethink did the same thing with you. Felt a hand laid on his shoulder.
Yeah, he can't figure that out.
It's like weed. They
like the weed. Yeah, they love people on pot. Yeah. Bats on Saturday, but I was smoking weed though.
Let me ask you this about this video that I'm so curious about. I can't play any part of the Micheal Jackson video because there's music in it, and sometimes YouTube can use music to take the channel down. They've known to be doing that. But the title of this video is "Did Micheal Jackson Fake His Own Death?" Now, in the community that we're in, there's always been a lot of talks that Paul McCartney is really dead. It's a clone of him that's out there. There's been topics of people faking their death throughout history and life. So when this video you did here about Micheal Jackson faking his own death, what's that video about?
Well, let's be honest. If anyone is going to fake their own death, who is more likely than Micheal Jackson, who is such an extravagant person who liked to keep the media guessing? He was known for wanting, his private life. He always said how much he wanted to go to a supermarket. He was always so sad about the fact that he just couldn't do normal things that normal people do. So I'm not saying that I definitely think this, but I'm certainly saying that he's definitely fits the criteria for somebody who had every reason to want to fake their own death and just live a normal life. It's not like he could retire. Like a lot of famous people can just kind of step out of the limelight and just fade away. But his fans were so loyal that I don't think
he can.
If he'd just stopped making music, they would never have left him alone. He couldn't just retire and just go and like live a private life. He was never going to get that.
And remember, he was also going through court cases about him, I hate to say it, molesting kids and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's easier to just say you died, go away, because I wasn't at the funeral. Did somebody see a dead body in a cap? Maybe I don't know. I mean, and he bleaches his skin so many times, you could probably put almost anybody in a coffin.
He had no nose.
Well, he was known for putting prosthetics on and going out and fooling everybody. He loved to fool people. And I think the age that he died as well is very, it's a nice rounded off age because he died at 50 spot on. It's almost as if he said, I'm going to go until I'm 50 and then that's it. I want to live the rest of my life in peace. So, that age as well for me, it's very... And the fact that he was in the middle of a tour and kind of dropping hints almost saying like, this is it. And, it's almost like he was giving clues. Like I said, I'm not going to say that he definitely did, but being a big follower of Elvis as well, he was a massive Elvis fan.
Yeah. And
the speculation around Elvis's death, I wouldn't put it past him to try and pull something like that off. And obviously he probably had the resources to do it. So
easily.
I think it's very I'm 50-50. If anyone's going to do it, it's probably him.
Easily. Him and Tupac are hanging out right now. They're in a rap section, just having a great time. Him and Elvis, old Elvis is wheeling his wheelchair in there. Well, fat. Hey, guys.
It's probably an island somewhere where they can all go to.
He's right. He's not like anybody else. He can't just walk to a mall or to a grocery store like a normal person can. He would be. I mean, remember, people love the son of a bitch. I mean, the man is known to molest kids, but people still love him. Remember, Bob, who's that Joker? Not Chris Rock, the other guy. When he said he's making a joke where, listen, if your kids got molested, at least they got molested by Micheal Jackson. Come on, it's Michael. You know what I mean? I mean, he's probably right. People don't care what Micheal Jackson does. A man could get away with murder and he would still be loved.
Yeah, that's Michael. That's little Michael for you. I almost feel bad for him because a piece of me keeps saying I don't think he did anything. I think he was so he liked the kids because they were so. I guess. I mean, so you and I, Eric, we have children. I had 2 kids. I raised 2 kids. I loved my kids, man. I love hanging out with my kids. I love raising them. I love their friends. It was fun. They were fun. Now this guy had no wife. Well, he had a wife at one time, Elvis's daughter, but he finally had kids. But before he had them adopted kid or whatever his biological, I don't know what the fuck they were to him.
Not biological, no way.
No, they're not his kids. But he didn't have no kids, so he had that theme park, and he just brought all the kids over for the theme park. And he wanted to hang out with it. It's creepy for some old man to be. Now, if you it's creepy because he don't have kids and he's hanging out with all these kids. Now, let's face it, Eric, you and I, we have kids. So we go to the park. We're sitting in the park. We're like, get the hell out and go play. I'm tired of you. Go play. But we're sitting, 2 grown men are sitting in the park with kids playing. It ain't creepy for us. We got a wife. We got kids. It ain't creepy. But this man is single. He got no kids hanging out with kids. Now, that looks bad.
It does look bad, but then when you see him talking about it, and when I see the interviews, I genuinely don't think that he thinks there's anything wrong with it because he openly admits sharing his bed with kids. He openly admits having sleepovers, like it's just normal, like he's just one of them. So I don't think a predator would openly admit to doing that kind of thing. They kind of cover it up a bit more. I have a hard time believing that was who he was. I might be wrong, but I just don't see it.
Well, Ordinary Bear says Michael Jackson became Dave. Some might think a clone took his place after Pepsi Burns incident.
She would probably know about that. I heard about that.
Yeah, that was in the video as well that I made. The Dave guy, he sounds exactly like Michael Jackson. It's so freaky. If you've ever seen a video of Dave in an interview, it's just unbelievable. You'd say that is definitely him. It's scary.
Wow, yeah. They had videos of a guy that looks like him but different. Some weird shit. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Are they going to come back one day? I was wondering if they're going to come back, like show up and say, I was resurrected. I'm the coming Christ or something weird like that. Like, oh, boy, this is crazy. I'm waiting for that to happen.
But let me ask you, if you had a pick one or the other, do you think Michael Jackson is alive or do you think he's dead?
Oh,
you have to pick one.
I think he's alive.
I think he's alive.
If I'm going to say one or the other, I would say, yeah, I think he's somewhere in a private island somewhere, living out his life. It just seems to be logical to me. It seems that would be the kind of thing that he would do, in my opinion. He was such a big. He would always go to the extravagance. He was always such an exhibitionist, and I think for a normal person, it would be unbelievable to think that you would do that. But this is Michael Jackson we're talking about. He wasn't a normal person, so I think after seeing the speculation around Elvis's death, that probably planted the seeds into his brain to think that I can do the same thing, and I want people talking about me and wondering if I'm dead or alive. I think. Yeah, but I think he's somewhere.
People, what do you guys think? Is Michael Jackson alive or is he dead? Now, Scenes Man thinks he's alive. Conspiracy thinks he's alive. Ordinary Barry thinks Bowie's also alive. A guy like me don't always like kids. Okay, that's fair. But do you think Dave? Okay, he's alive, I guess.
Alive. That means alive. I think because the reason why I think he's alive, and I'm using science, guys. The reason why I think he's alive is because number one, obviously, I don't know if he was taking female hormones to keep his voice, but it would work that way. But if he were to go on a regular regimen, and men do it all the time that are skinnier, skinny men will do it all the time. They'll take testosterone. They'll take testosterone supplements. And even Dave Chappelle did. Obviously, he didn't admit to, but he did testosterone supplements. So skinny Dave Chappelle, like real skinny, and Michael are about the same skinniness. If he went off to say Africa or went off to the Jamaica, the highlands of the Blue Mountains or whatever, and was on a regimen of testosterone, the man would be able to eventually start growing a beard. He would have such a high amount. He'd probably be able to grow a beard, his hair out. He'd be big. He'd be bigger. He'd be fatter. He'd eat a lot of proteins, eat a lot of food, and take them supplements. He could be you would not recognize him. You couldn't. You would not be able to recognize. Like Dave Chappelle is a great example of someone sneaking off and taking male testosterone, which is what a lot of men have to do nowadays. Yeah. It's the food.
Look how he has changed through life. Look.
Yeah.
He looks like that and did to that. I mean,
he was obsessed with changing he was never satisfied with the way he looked anyway. So God knows what he would look like now if he was still around.
He was in that movie Cats. Look, there's the picture, Cats.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He got no nose left. It's just a cartilage, man, with the bone. But he can get that fixed. He can do plastic surgery on his face and take some male hormones.
Maybe he did get it all fixed, and that's how he's able to walk around. I mean, he was already messed himself up so badly. Maybe he did it on purpose. What's that famous saying? It's better to fade away than to burn out.
Yeah, yeah, there it is. Yeah, it could be done easy. It's easy, especially for someone that size. It's easy with the male hormone supplements. Yeah, testosterone, easy.
Look at that nose. That nose is pointy, and then of course that nose is cut off.
Man, hard to look at. So hard to look at. He said he had that skin
where he looked really good, and you thought, just stay like that. You look fine now, but he had to keep going and keep making alterations. He had to keep fixing what he was. It was a dysmorphia, really, wasn't it? The way he had to carry on changing the way he looked, and he was obvious. I feel sorry for the guy, really.
He was born and raised as a child. I mean, he was in as a kid.
Reminds me of Bob. You know this actor. This actor kind of did the same thing to his face. That the sexiest man alive in the '90s was Mickey Rourke.
I already knew it.
Handsome guy. Everybody wanted to be Mickey Rourke. And then he kept getting facelift. But the thing is, he never gave up boxing. So he was getting facelift. Plus, he was still boxing. And now he just looks like a monster.
Oh, man.
He was a handsome guy. I mean, I'm not gay, but if I was gay, Mickey Rourke might be the guy I'd like.
Yeah.
I don't remember what he looked like before. I remember him in Iron Man.
Iron Man 2, yes.
Yeah, he was in Iron Man, and that's the first time I really saw him. I didn't really see him back in his good-looking days.
The dude was squared away, man. He had a squared away.
How he looked at the beginning. Look how handsome he was right there on the left.
Oh, man.
Look at him on the left. Holy shit.
Covered himself in tattoos.
That's the problem with having enough money to just, if you're not happy with something and you've got the money and you just think, I'll just nip to the plastic surgeon, I'll just get this fixed. And I think it just becomes an addiction, really.
It's an addiction. It's an OCD.
When you've got that much money and you can just afford to do whatever you want to yourself, and whenever you're not happy with something, and it just snowballs, and it's very really to think what could happen.
It's so sad.
It's a fast food world. A lot of, especially young gals, they get the breast augmentation, they get the face, they get their nose done, and they're thinking of themselves at present. They're young, they're thinking themselves at present, but they got to understand they're going to get old, and those implants, you're going to look like what's her name, Ozzy Osbourne's wife. Was it Sharon? Sharon, you ever seen her?
Pretty good for her age.
She looks like she really has it all. She is sculpted.
She's a good plastic surgeon, though, because she looks really good. And so does Cher as well. I think Cher's a vampire. She must have the best plastic surgeon ever, because sometimes they look amazing, and then sometimes you can just tell that it's been pulled and stretched time after time after time, and the skin kind of gets this strange quality to it that you just think
there's no oxygen.
Rolling, and it gets shiny, and oh god,
it's no oxygen in it left, so they have to put.
Diner. I remember that movie Diner.
They're even doing the bleeding. The Kardashians were promoting they removed they doing it here, and they were doing it in England.
The vampire facial.
Yeah, they're doing the vampire facials, removing your blood, doing the weird platelets thing, and then putting it onto or injecting it into your face. I don't know how that works. I don't know about that, but they put it in your face.
I think it's just putting it on. I'm not too sure. I've never had it.
Do you know what's weird? Do you remember the Mickey Rourke movie, Johnny Handsome?
Yes.
Where in that movie, Johnny Handsome had a messed up face, and they did a whole reconstruction, and they made him handsome. And of course, in the movie, it's about him getting revenge for people that used to make fun of him or killed his partner. It's kind of like he predicted the future, but in reverse, where he was handsome, then he became that ugly guy in Johnny Handsome.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Anybody seen the movie? You'll know what I'm talking about.
Well, it's just like I said again. A lot of young people. They I don't over here. I can't stand it. My stomach turns with the trout mouth, man. I can't do it. In England, it is an epidemic with the trout mouth. I can't stand it. She knows what I'm talking about. I'm like, you just don't talk to me, because you could see that they had whimsically thin lips, and they had just really lowered them down. And they're like, and they talk to you like this, and they can't talk right, and I can't understand anyway. And I'm like, I can't understand you with that mouth.
Yeah.
It's
Look, I think it dropped off. You think, oh, I'll just get a little bit of filler in, and then you get used to it. And then you think, well, I just get a bit. The more you get used to it, the bigger you go. So the more, you get used to them to being one size, and then you think, oh, I'm used to this now, and I want to go bigger. So it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you don't notice it, but other people think, my God, what is going on there?
Yeah. Well, here's one. Jen, it is gross. The one I remember the most was Meg Ryan cheeks.
Oh God. Oh, Meg Ryan really went off the deep end on her cheeks, man. She did the full face, the cheeks, and the face.
Hold on. I got to look at Meg Ryan. I don't even know what she looks like anymore.
Oh.
She got the permanent lip filler, didn't she, Meg Ryan, that they couldn't remove? Or am I thinking of someone else?
She got the thinnest lips in Hollywood, but that was her character. That's why she looked fine. She looked fine. Girls in England, stop doing it. And America now. They're growing in America too. Ladies, stop, please. Oh, God.
Well, it's hard to know because looking at pictures, you don't know what age I'm looking at. Like, here's one.
Oh.
She looks like a woman a little bit in that picture.
Sculpted like a plastic mold.
Yeah.
Just god awful.
Right here.
If she likes the way she looks and she's happy and it makes her feel more confident, then go for it. But I think a lot of the time it is a case of body dysmorphia where you think you're seeing something that you're not, and you just have to keep messing with yourself. And it's a sickness, really. It's quite scary.
Oh, that's right. She dated John Mellencamp.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know if they're still together, but
wow. So we went from Micheal Jackson to
Ryan. Oh, here's another one. Cher. I'm a rich man. Cher, she still looks good, right? Doesn't Cher look good?
Cher don't age. She's vampires. There's something wrong with her, man. There's something wrong with that girl. But she deserves whatever she gets. She got married at 16, and then that old guy, and then he dies. I guess he hit a tree skiing or something.
Not Bono. Yeah.
There's a mysterious death for you. Bono. Bono was a mysterious death. He somehow hit a tree during a skiing trip. How many people died from that? A lot of them. Check her out.
That's the man who died hitting a tree.
Yeah, hitting a tree during a skiing trip.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. They had their own show for a while. They had a good show.
She still looks good. I mean, yeah.
If there was ever a good argument for aliens existing, I think Cher's good evidence.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Maybe her
something strange going on there.
She's
look at her after implant.
She has an after implant?
After implant. Where is her
implant? Singular.
What's an after implant, though?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know. Well, it's not like these pictures tell you their age. Oh. Okay, let me type in share image after implant. After implant. See if it comes up with anything.
Just looks the same.
Oh, is that a cheeks? A cheek implants?
Okay. She's got the cheeks.
Yeah.
The cheekbones.
You think Hollywood hates us right now?
Oh, sure they do. Oh, yeah. They don't like me at all. I've been ripping them apart for a long time.
I don't care, I'm miles away.
But they can't. Ooh. Well, she gained a little weight there. No big deal. She should be chubby and jolly and happy. She shouldn't be having to worry about herself. People at a certain age get a little bit big. It's fine after a certain age. Don't get too big, but just relax with yourself. Don't have to do the face things. It's bad. Okay. We need a new conspiracy, Eric. Dolly
Parton.
She had breast reductions. Oh, and implants. Wow, she did a double whammy. She's completely modified. Ooh, like a robot. You could never tell if they were aliens now.
Yeah.
If there were aliens on this planet, you could not tell because of all. You would just see somebody with an alien, or you would just see somebody with plastic surgery that went too far. You wouldn't think they were aliens.
Hey Bob, did you know that Dolly Parton has her own theme park?
No.
Yeah, I've read that at some point. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No. What kind of theme?
Dollywood.
Dollywood, really,
Yes.
really.
I think it's in Tennessee. I believe.
No, man, no. The power of Christ compels you. Get it?
No. Oh, shit.
I go there.
Go back to
A Smoky Mountain family adventure at Dollywood.
Dollywood. Okie dokie.
Is this a place that's open to the public? Can anyone go and visit?
Yes, it's in Tennessee.
Really?
Yes, you could go to Tennessee and then go to her. It's like a smaller version of Disneyland.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. So it's not like Micheal Jackson's Neverland.
No. This is. I'm sure a company built it and they're just using her name. I mean, she's
right.
owner, but I don't think she like built it. Paid for all herself. I think a company was like, "Hey, we're going to call this place called Dollywood in Tennessee. We want you to be the face of it."
I don't see nothing wrong with that. I mean, people ask me if you had like the Queen's money, which is actually technically mine. If you had the Queen's money and all the riches of a certain amount, what would you do with it? I said, what I would do with it is I would have a coal train, an actual old style coal train. I would have train tracks all the way to Scotland, all the way down to London. I would be a conductor on a coal train. I would take the train every day. I would I would work on the train. I would do nothing but just the engineering stuff on the train. I would take people I would just be a coal train guy, just an engineer, and just
the first person who has told me that if you had all that money, you would have a train.
Yes, I would.
I've never heard that answer before.
Even in Jen's got a video about the most extreme body modification. So in a lot of ways, we're talking some topics that she's already talked about.
Yeah, we touched another topic. Oh wow!
Here's a good one. First movies which were allegedly cursed. What cursed movies have you heard?
Well, that is very much the exorcism, going back to the exorcism stories and the possession stories. Whenever they seem to make a movie about real events, like The Exorcist and The Exorcism of Emily Rose, they all The Omen, yeah. They all seem to have strange things happening on sets. So I remember an interview with the actress in The Exorcism of Emily Rose saying that she was woken up at 3 a.m. every morning like she was in the film. For some reason, her alarm would go off or something would go off in the house at 3 a.m. every night while she was working on the film. So it's fascinating, I think. And
wow, yeah.
The movie Poltergeist. There's been some of the actresses. The main actress girl died, and I think the sister died in real life, and a third person died. The guy in the second one, the weird old priest guy, but I think he had cancer. I don't know his story, but
in the film The Poltergeist, they used real skeletons, didn't they, in the pool scene? So that's why
the rumor.
All these deaths happened.
I didn't know that.
Rumor. I mean, that's a rumor. Of course, Steven Spielberg says they did it, but the rumor is they did. So it's hard to say. Because some said that he wanted to look so real that Steven Spielberg actually got skeletons. But, of course, he denies it. He probably denies it because when he saw the public uproar. But the rumor is it's real.
It's plausible because all the medical schools have them. So they've got them in a lot of classrooms. So they would just simply borrow them from there, put some makeup on aesthetics on them and stuff, and then put them in the mud. He's like, shit, you can't get better than that.
So you can understand them being a bit ticked off the spirits about something like that, can't you? So,
right?
I'd be ticked off if my skeleton was used like that. I might come back and do some hauntings if they did that to me.
Yeah.
Is this one video that story about that mother who was giving her daughter shots to make her sick on purpose where she's not sick?
Heard that story.
Munchausen syndrome by proxy. Do you remember the story of Gypsy Rose, who killed her mother because she made her sick? She made her live in a wheelchair, and she made her eat through a feeding tube, and there was absolutely nothing wrong with her, but she was taken to hospital visit after hospital visit, and she was banned from going out the house. She wasn't allowed to walk on her own, and in the end she got this boyfriend who she met online, who ended up killing the mother. So it's very split opinions about what side you're on. Obviously you don't condone the murder of the mother, but she was very bizarre. So
now people, she said Gypsy Rose, not Gypsy Road. I didn't kill nobody. Gypsy Rose. Just to make sure I didn't kill nobody.
Clear.
One of the streaming service made a movie on that, or a series, like a series. I think my wife watched it.
Well, there's one about Black Widows. They called them Black Widows, and it was all these females that were killing. Well, basically, a lot of women were killing their husbands. And again, there's a dividing line because they weren't just doing it because it was cool to do. Well, some of them probably for the money, but some of them were victims of rape continuously, and they couldn't get out, or they couldn't go anywhere. They're being basically tortured. I think one of them, I can't remember. I'm not going to say it online. There was a particular root of a regular plant you could buy at the store and have it in your garden. And she was using this root, and she dried it all out. She turned it into ground powder, and she was making the old man soups every night with this powder in it. And the dude, I think he was in Australia. I'll just give that away. And the dude was getting sick, and they couldn't figure out why he was getting sick. They figured it was this problem. Because it was actually weakening his body. So basically his respiratory system was shutting down. So in his immune system, it compromises his immune system. So they're blaming it on, colds and flus. And so his immune system seems to be going down, and we're going to try to use antibiotics. But she just kept slowly feeding him that powder and just letting nature take care of the rest. And the dude finally died. And somebody who was, I guess she was moving out of the house, had found the pot that she had boiled all of that into. And they tested, it was a weird, obviously by that time, there's a weird ass smudge. It's discolored around the inside because of that stuff that's still in it. And when they did a sample, I said, holy sheep shit, this is poison. She had been poisoning the guy the whole time. It was crazy. Oh, my alarm's going off. We'll be right back.
It's scary.
I heard thunder a bit ago, Suzanne. I'm in Gettysburg. Yeah, I used to live 15 minutes away from Gettysburg. Yeah, I've never seen a ghost there. I was actually looking for ghosts in Gettysburg. Actually, Bob and I went on a ghost walk in Gettysburg. It was kind of a cool night that we actually went on a ghost walk because for whatever reason, they were doing fireworks in this town, Gettysburg, and that's the night we were doing a ghost walk. And then you were kind of telling the stories about the Civil War. You heard all the fireworks. It kind of gave it like a cool like man, Civil War. I hear the bullets. I hear all this. But now during that ghost walk, I have not seen one ghost, and I wanted to because everybody says Gettysburg is one of the most haunted places on this planet.
Yeah.
I lived in Gettysburg. I lived 15 minutes away in a town called Frederick, next to Gettysburg. But we used to go there a lot because I hated D.C. I hated Maryland. So I always went to Gettysburg. And unfortunately, I've never seen a ghost.
It's supposed to be there.
Three things. Yeah, I've never seen one either.
Since you're in Gettysburg, have you ever experienced a ghost or orbs? Have you seen any of this? Because I didn't.
Yeah, that's good. I'd like to go out there with a metal detector. I was dying to get out there with a metal detector, man. They don't want you walking around with a metal detector out there. You find I was dying to get out there. Find an old belt buckle, some old coins, something. I'm an archaeology university, so I was dying to go out there for that. But they're kind of restrictive out there. It's beautiful, though. Gettysburg is gorgeous. But right now, I'm hopefully going to go up to Scotland soon here. But storms after storms and the corona, and I'm like, come on, man, I can't get out.
I know. We got to get her on. She wrote, "One day I'll share my TN story. House burned down in 2012 during a mental health vacation. Spirits never, ever take a break there." I want to hear that story.
Wow.
I know. I want to hear that story. We got to get her on to hear that story.
I'd love to experience something firsthand. I'd like to think that I wouldn't run away or scream, or probably would. But just to have that first-hand experience and say that cannot be explained. There's no way there's a logical explanation for that.
Yeah, you have to do what I did. You'll have it, and then you have to try to debunk it. Then you got to back away from it and don't let it own you. You got to own it, and then write it up as an anomaly. You know, because you don't want to get down that path. Like all of a sudden, everything's got a ghost in it. No.
You both are in the UK, right? Because you're in the UK yourself, right?
Yeah.
So the UK is supposed to be the oldest part of the world, right? Where there's more ghosts in the UK versus anywhere else on this planet. So I'm sure you guys can find some ghosts.
Well, the closest I've ever had is I have a double bed. I'm on my own in the bed. I always sleep on the right side, but whenever I sleep on the left side of the bed, I always have really strange dreams. I have dreams that the covers are being pulled off me, or someone's trying to push me out of the bed. So I always sleep on the right because of the strange dreams I have. And I don't know if it's just my brain or if there's something going on with the left side of the bed, whether there's something like the person who lived here before, that was their side of the bed and they're trying to shove me out of it. But that's literally the only thing I have, which can easily be put down to just bad dreams or just me not being used to sleeping on that side of the bed. So for me, that's not evidence. But when I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm thinking, what the hell was that? It's quite scary at the time, but then I just think, it can be easily explained. So I'm not putting that down for an experience.
Set a camera up. Set up a camera for yourself. I know it sounds weird, but
paranormal activity.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah, do a camera on yourself, and then if you do get anomalies, do it like I always call it, do the 3-time rule. In archaeology, you have to 3 separate artifacts to call a site like a dig site. So you do it 3 separate nights in intervals, and then even pick a full moon night. You can even write that as part of your research. Full moon night.
That is how I
do it 3 times. Yeah, and if you do have a problem with it, and then you can try it one more time. You can take a bunch of salt and then make the circle around the bed with the salt, and then sleep on that side again and see if it happens again. Because that's how they can't.
For Jen. Jen, are you sleeping closest to the door or away from the closet?
Here we go.
Well, my bed the head of my bed is facing the door, so either side is just as close to the door, and the wardrobe is on the door side, so window is behind my head.
Yeah.
Where's Paranormal Belle when we need her? We need her here to give us a reading with her to see if she has some kind of a ghost hanging out in her house. Somebody go get Belle.
If it was actual, there was something to it, I'd actually be like really happy to have this evidence. If it does turn out to be something, I'd like that. I'd probably try and communicate with it and stuff like that. But
that's what I want.
I don't want to do anything. I want to invite them and say, just talk to me and tell me what's going on.
Well, you do the camera thing, dress in comfortable full body jammies. That way, if you got evidence, you can show it on. You can fast forward at the clips and show it online. That'd be freaking awesome, man. I know it sounds weird, but that night, just make sure you don't look too slobby and put on some jammies or whatever, and then put the camera up and then do a test and see what you get.
I'm gonna do it.
It'd be great footage.
So you are most comfy where? Middle bed and heading to the closet, or roll left or right? Damn, she's getting right to the point.
She has an idea. She's working on something right now.
She must be working on something because, man.
Well, the reason I sleep on the left is sometimes I feel like I've worn down the right side because I need to buy a new mattress. So I think, I'll sleep on that side because it's not as worn as the other side. So I'm probably more comfortable on the left side of the bed, if I'm honest. So
that's it. Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Just tell them you like to record while you are talking to yourself and hoping to hear responses. Okay.
Oh boy. And she could do the app, Eric. You got that app on your phone where you that paranormal app.
Yeah.
Where you the reality distortion one, is that one?
I don't know which one do you have?
I have it's called Ghost Detector.
Ghost Detector.
So it's and then you ask it questions. So it's like, is our friend Jen, is her house haunted? And then you're supposed to just wait until it gives you a word. Now, according to our paranormal friends, they say this app is a good app. But
right.
Yeah. Jen's house haunted. Let us know, please. And we'll find out. Now, sometimes you gotta wait. It doesn't like give you a word every second, but you guys continue saying something while I try to get the answer to see if we're haunted.
I'm just eager to find the answer now.
Well, now she's planning her ghost investigation in her own home, so that's kind of cool. You get to do that,
Yeah.
You get to do the side thing because, again, like you said, to debunk it. I've done the same thing you're talking about. I've literally slept on one side of the bed for so long, and a big guy that had made this groove, and I was comfortable. I had took the bed, and my old house, I switched it.
Tina.
What's it saying?
The green screen is messing it up where you can't see it clear, but it says Tina.
Tina.
It says Tina.
Don't know Tina.
You might have a ghost named Tina, so if you're going to talk to it, maybe you say, hey, hello, Tina.
Quite a modern name. I think the person who lived here before me was an old lady. I don't think her name was. Well, it could be anyone. It could.
Wow.
I'm gonna look into it and see if there's anyone called Tina. Definitely.
Or maybe he's telling me
that person
here.
Though, isn't it?
That's weird.
Here at my place.
Yeah, your place is haunted, Eric, downstairs, because I think something pushed me off your bed that day when I have that mark on my forehead still there.
That's a good question. Tina, are you the one who touched Bob at night?
Touch me, it pushed me.
Tina, did you push Bob at night? Okay, we'll find out.
Yeah, I was sleeping. Eric got a blow-up mattress. Now, I'm going to debunk it and say that half the air was out of it at the time, and I was sleeping. So I had rolled. What happened was I somehow rolled, and that damn thing flung me out of the air mattress bed.
Yeah.
And Eric had a desk just a few feet away, and I flung forward, and bam, I hit my head on the desk.
It says point. They wrote the word point.
Point. So point. So I hit Eric's desk, and then I said, "Oh, I went back to sleep, and I woke up, and I had blood all over my face."
Oh my god!
Yeah, right between my eyes, and it's still sometimes blinks. I don't know why.
Now it says point free slowly. Teacher. It's giving me a lot of words. Point free teacher. Did you ever did anything wrong with a teacher, Bob?
Oh.
Did you ever piss off a teacher?
Well, I've had sex with teachers, yes.
Ship. You're on a ship.
I was on a ship, yes. I was a teacher.
My mom was a teacher.
Okay. I've had a lot of
oh, yeah. Man, a lot of words. Teacher, create, point. I mean, Elizabeth now says Elizabeth received. Elizabeth received. Man, it's going like crazy.
The thing with these apps, though, is if you think hard enough, you can probably relate all of the words to something. Yeah. If you're that keen to try and find an explanation.
Yeah, yeah.
I want something that's really like. Someone at the door.
Oh, you're right. The only thing that was weird when I took my son to the hospital. And I was sitting outside the car at the hospital, and I was having fun. I thought, hey, I'll use my app because if there's going to be ghosts, right? There's going to be a lot of ghosts at the hospital.
Oh, yes.
And it actually put my son's name on this. Now, my son doesn't have that normal name like Tina, Bob, or Eric. My son's name's Gabriel. And actually put his name, Gabriel, on this. I thought, that's kind of weird. I mean, of all the names to pick, that's the name. Yeah, so I'm not saying it's paranormal. It could have been just one out of a million.
But the door would be 1 sec.
Go for it. Well, I like it when you put the flat Earth, round Earth question, and it played that. It did that chaotic neutral card where it just said fixed. I love that answer. It just says fixed. There's no round, no flat, no octagon, no freaking whatever. Fixed. It's a fixed place. I said that actually makes sense. Fixed makes sense. I like that app. That's why the only reason why I even think that app was somewhat plausible. I just think it's kind of cool like that. Fixed.
Our friend says it's somewhat real, so I don't know. I mean,
I'm going to use it. I'm going to be doing some, I'm going to hit a couple cemeteries. I was thinking about, I got the camera. I usually do my lives on a Saturday, but I'm going to start doing the camera again. Maybe hit a couple cemeteries, like 3 a.m. or something like that, just for the fun of it. I'm going to download an app, Eric, and just film it, see what happens.
If you're in the UK.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the cool thing about the UK, America, you can't go in after hours. No cops will show up. But over here, UK, these cemeteries are open.
There's a pub in my village. I think it was rated the 3rd most haunted pub in the UK, or the 2nd, or something like that. And I slept in it overnight one night because my friend was looking after it while it changed hands. And that was there was some really odd things happening overnight. It was really, really hot and stuffy, and then all of a sudden it'd just go really cold, and really you just get a chill and start, you see your breath, which was really odd. And the stairs up to the flat on top, they were wooden, and you could hear footsteps going up the stairs all night, which was scary as well. It was dark. Yeah, but it was so long ago, and I think because we stayed there in a big group, we were just young at the time. I think I must have been about 18 at the time. Oh. And you stay with a big group, you've been drinking, and you're all talking about how it's haunted, and there's all stories about how there's kids buried in the walls and things. I think, is it just your mind running away with you? Is it just, it can be easily put down to, just paranoia. And when you do hear things when you're drifting off to sleep as well, when you're just in that point where you're just about nodding off.
Yeah.
There's so many times when I've heard like a knock on the door or someone's footsteps coming up the stairs, and it's just in that kind of mid like center between being awake and asleep, which these things tend to happen. So I'm not counting that as evidence. It's not good enough for me. But yeah.
It's something. I mean, it's better than
to do it. Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what people experience. I mean, there's nobody out dancing in a white dress. I have yet to see that. I think I've told people I think I saw one weird day. I think I saw 2 ghosts, but it's a different concept of ghosts. I don't want to go into a long story, but it was real quick. A guy was pacing at a bus stop back and forth with a cigarette. And he looked just distraught. He's going back. That's not unusual in England. But the people at the bus stop were like looking forward and like talking to each other. Like he's not even being seen. And I'm watching him going, they're not being bothered because I'm being bothered across the street by this guy. It's like they don't see him. They're looking straight ahead. And he's just, that's weird. That's weird. And then I'm walking away from him and I look back and he's not there anymore. He's gone. And the people are still sitting. And I go, well, he must have darted off. So I'm walking with another English person, and then a skinny girl. I'm a guy. I did a double take on her. So I did this weird. You guys have the weirdest streets, man, and everybody jaywalks. So I wait for the light. You guys jaywalk like crazy. So I cross it, and his younger gal wearing tight outfit walks by, and we both did a glance at each other. And I looked away, and I said, "You check her out?" And we both turned around, and then she's gone. And I said, "This is right after I saw the guy disappear," and I was like, there's no way she could be gone. This shop's there's nowhere she could go. And I'm looking and saying, where the hell? What? And then he says, this is the spot where people get hit by cars. I said, what? It's got a lot of death on this one corner we just crossed. I go, but this person looked alive. And then the guy at the bus stop is gone too. I said, are we in some kind of weird little parallel? I'm seeing dead people all of a sudden today. I couldn't explain where they went. There's nowhere for them to go. You would see them in this. Everyone don't know what England is. It's like a little village with all these buildings are connected, like connected. So there's nowhere for them to go.
Bob sees dead people.
Yeah, I mentioned it before, and I said, "What is this?" That they looked alive, but they just disappeared.
Well, who has to say that they have to be like transparent, like they are in the films? You know,
right?
You might do, yeah. You never know.
I think they're not transparent. I think people actually see dead people. They look like regular people, and you would never know. It's like, as you said, I've never saw it. You probably have. You just didn't know it. You wouldn't know. They look real because they're not see-through. I think the see-through ones are fake. I'm going to be honest. I don't know. I think that's fake because it's easy to manipulate. I can make a fake see-through person like that easily with a double exposure on a film, easy. But to see a real person, you can't prove it. They're just gone.
I like what she said here. Not right here. Not that one. Gypsy Real, hey sunshine. What is up with the sexy red stash and the beard goatee? I like that. You are looking. What can I do to make you sing? Did that help? You keep stroking your beard, deep thinking, babe. With all.
Eric's doing the beard thing finally. I made fun of him. I feel bad I kept making fun of him. One day he had a really thick one going, and the next day he showed up was nothing there. What did you do, man? Eric's like, he did the stupidest thing and took a razor and tried to. Oh, don't do that, man. Shave it. Don't mess with it. So Eric's got it back, which is cool. Yes, we got beards on our show, right, Eric?
Sure. As long as people start saying I'm looking sexy, then I gotta kick you off.
Yeah, I know.
We got a clean family show here, okay? We don't go rated R. Yeah, right. Yeah, actually, talking about rated R, just to let people know, if you don't remember last Thursday, the horror talk show tomorrow, where we talk horror movies, is the movie we're talking about tomorrow is the movie Saw.
Yes, I gotta see that. I gotta watch that again.
If you like the movie Saw, which it was picked by our last guest who's on the channel, she said, "You guys should talk about Saw," and I said, "Sure, we'll talk about Saw. I'll talk about you know capturing people and tying them up and using some machines to do some gross kills. There's nothing wrong with that."
I saw the first one, but I haven't seen. How many Saw movies are there? It's about 6, isn't there, or 5?
I think there is. I only saw the first 2.
Yeah,
and then I was done with it.
Yeah, they kind of milked it after that.
Yeah, I didn't really care. Saw 2 was just bigger machines, bigger. It was like, okay, you can only torture people so much, and
yeah.
I guess they made a prequel. I've never seen it.
Stick with the first one.
those kind of horror films, I do watch them, but the more my kind of horror films are the more paranormal kind of things.
Yeah,
like the Exorcism ones. I'm more into those ones than the gory ones. Like I think I watched the one where the Saw where she was in like a chamber that closed up and then it set on fire, and I just thought, no, that's not for me. I don't want to watch any more of that. It was just too much for me. I couldn't cope with that anymore.
I kind of agree. I'm not a big fan of Saw. I mean, it was kind of cute the first time you watched it, but I like your good old fashioned slashers. Your good old fashioned just killing teenagers, and teenagers having sex, you kill them. That same old story. And with possession movies, I like them if they're more like a one-off. I hate when they keep doing sequels. Like Exorcist 1 was great. Exorcist 2 and 3, those were dumb.
Yeah.
I like it when they keep it just one movie. Now, except for the Omens. Omen 1, 2, and 3 were neat because it was about
trilogy
through his age, about being a kid all the way, or a baby all the way to being a senator or ambassador, whatever he was.
Yeah.
I like the ghost ones. I like the ghost movies. I like to be able to jump. It's hard for me to jump. I'm always like to say this is bullshit. I like the ones that really come at you good. The Paranormal Activity one, which Viz wants to come on with, that was like, oh my God, this is good. with the camera. Like we're telling you about doing your room with the camera, like the movie. You've seen the movie, right? Paranormal Activity, Jen?
I think I have. Is that the one in the house where the pots and pans were shaking in the kitchen and things like that? Yeah.
Yeah, like
it's kind of like a home food movie, and it's all
that got me. That was good. That was a whole new way of doing it that I loved. With the whole, it makes you feel like it was real.
I was an ambassador one.
I was just gonna say the Blair Witch Project. Yeah.
We're gonna wait to see your film when you do it. That's gonna be kind of cool. You see the blankets pull off of you when you're sleeping. You're sleeping on the other side.
Actually, Bob, that would be a good YouTube video where she can use the footage of trying to find something and let people know in her community of where she's at with it, you know. And remember, in one of the movies, they did something smart. They put flour around the bed just to see when they wake up and they can see footsteps in the powder.
Yeah, we had to do that.
Anyway, I get footsteps off this one. This one sleeps in my bed with me, so
a pedigree
dog anyway.
Everybody in England has a pedigree dog. Of course you do.
She's actually half pug. She's not all Chihuahua. She's half pug and then Chihuahua. But she just
I have a 17-year-old Chihuahua. A 17-year-old Chihuahua upstairs.
Oh, the gorgeous! I just love them. Look,
and I got an English bulldog puppy that Bob always had to make sure his door shut because every time my puppy went in the room, he kept stealing something from Bob and taking it outside.
Yeah, went into my bag and stole something and run out with it. I'm still missing wires.
Typical.
God, English bulldog just loves to rummage through my bag. Stay out of my way.
We about hit the end mark for today's show. I just want to say today was awesome. Today was fun. I love talking about. I didn't even know we were talking about Meg Ryan and Cher and Mickey Rourke, but hey, on this show, you never know what you're going to talk about. So, I appreciate you coming on. You're great.
Oh, thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it. I'm really honored to be invited.
That was cool.
You're welcome anytime. You know, if you're ever gonna have a new video drop, you want to jump on real quick just to promote. Say, hey, I just dropped a new video. You're more than welcome to jump on. Just to let us know you want to.
Absolutely. We'll definitely be doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can jump in anytime you want. We're doing certain subjects. Once you've been on, you kind of got the free keys to the house. So you can sidebar and you're like really interested in the subject we got. You can say, hey, can I jump in? Absolutely. You can do it like 5 minutes, jump in and jump out. We do that.
I want to play this game as well because I'm intrigued to play this priest game. What's it called again? Priest slash?
With the gay
Gay blaster
or something, was it?
Let me check.
Anyway, we're gonna do that one.
It'll tell me. Gay Blade.
That's the one. Gay Blade.
Gay Blade. The name is called Gay Blade.
Yeah, I have to do a video of that.
Yeah. If you put it together, if you actually have the whole thing and you got a friend or two that's gonna jump in, and you get it set up, you just invite us. And we could either do it on your show or this show. We're in. We'll do it. We'll do it.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter. Because we mirror each other's shows anyway. So if we go on yours, I would just take it and mirror it on here. Where if you want to mirror this show, put on yours too, you can. We all share. So it doesn't matter what show we go on. Everybody will see it.
That would be a fun game. There'd be a lot of jokes being made. We put a big disclaimer out there first.
And of course, guys, remember tomorrow is the movie Saw. Wednesday, I don't know what the topic is going to be yet on Wednesday. I'll have a topic ready. My laptop broke. My laptop's broken, so now I got to go downstairs to work on the computer. So I'm slower than usual. I can't get everything done. But Thursday and Friday, remember, people, I'm actually taking a small vacation, but. On Thursday, I'm going to be dropping the documentary video from a good friend named James Strongrome. It's always hard to say his last name. Jamie Strongrome made this documentary about the stormtrooper who hit his head in Star Wars. Who is that actor? Who hit his head? And he did a lying detector test on 2 different people who says I was the guy who hit his head. It's a freaking awesome documentary, and he's allowing me to show it. So if none of you seen it, I'm going to be dropping that show on this Thursday. You got to check it out. Jen, if you ever want to see one of the most coolest documentaries that is done by a YouTuber, not Hollywood, a YouTuber, you got to check this out because this guy put his heart and soul in something that sounds so silly. It's so crazy, but there's actually people who claim they hit their heads during the movie, and they're making money out of it. They're making money off of Comic-Con.
Comic-Con.
This journey is to find out who is the real guy.
Yeah.
I know, it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy, but it is actually a fantastic video.
Yeah. So Jen, tell us a little bit. It's your square. Sell your channel right now. Go ahead, tell everyone about what you do and your last words. All that fun stuff. So get yourself out.
It's basically just an eclectic mix of the things that I think are interesting. So if I find, I come out with things while I'm walking the dogs, and I'll have my little ponderings, and I'll go away and I'll research things and try and create a video out of it. And hopefully other people find them interesting as well. But I do need to get more into my videos and not use the automated voice anymore. That's my challenge to myself, because I'm kind of a bit camera shy, and I've kind of been hiding behind these automated voices, and I think I owe it to my subscribers to start appearing more in my videos. So that's my next challenge. So I'm really grateful that you've made me come on and get my face on the camera and kind of pushed me out of my comfort square today. So I was really nervous, but I've really enjoyed it. So I'm really thankful for that. So thanks very much.
Sub her. Guys, sub her. She's got great videos, guys. It's not poorly done. She's done a professional job. They're really, really good. They're short, they're awesome, and they're like, huh? I didn't know this. What? Really good videos. So I mean, Eric didn't ask. Oh, we asked a lot of people on, but Eric didn't ask you on because they were like, oh, well, no, these are gonna go up like a rocket. We want to know you at the bottom floor. Do you remember us when you were up here? Remember us when you were up here?
Oh, thanks. That's so nice.
Yeah, because they're really good. They're really
good.
Well, that's it for today, everybody. And then just one last thing. Where is it? This is my email address, people. There's a couple people I'm going to be talking to after the show. If any one of you want to, I don't know, like volunteer and help with the show somehow. People are asking, they want to be part of the show. They want to help out behind the scenes. So if anybody wants to help behind the scenes, send me an email. So I'll send a link out. It's a link not to go live with everybody. It's a link just to talk to you behind the scenes to help, help grow the channel and get help like kind of like Viz does for his Walking Dead Now show, where people are trying to help out, find guests and all that. So if any one of you want to help out with our show, send me an email and I'll send you an invite so we can talk on how we can help. So and that's it. I'm going to say bye, and I'll see everybody tomorrow with the Saw movie. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.